I slid my hands along the mossy cave walls as I made my way through the tunnels of fen. It was dark, but after what seemed like an eternity, I reached the large creature trapped in the watery hole. The smell in the cave was unbearable, and I was forced to cover my nose to stop from gagging.
We apologize for the smell. We admit sulfur in times of excitement.
The creature's eyes moved wildly as I approached.
Your movements are kind.
I searched around the creature. Is there a way to help you out?
Not possible. You are of tiny stature. We are quite large.
The creature was right. There wasn't much I could do to help. And as the creature lifted his flabby belly, I realized, as small as I was too big to fit down the hole. It seemed there was no way out, after all.
If you seek escape, we must eat you.
The creature hunched over with a low, rumbling moan and dropped its gaped mouth into the shallow water. Wait, are you saying the only way out is through you?
We must eat you.
Maybe there's another way to the surface. One that's less disgusting?
This is only way. Taranka block all other ways.
Thick drool dripped from the creature's square teeth.
Quick, the Taranka come.
The creature gaped its mouth further, causing water to rush over its tongue and down its throat. Hot air blasted my eyes with each deep breath. It seemed insane. Maybe the creature was simply hungry. How long had it been since it ate? Was this how he lured his food into the cave? By promising a way out? But how would I get out?
Taranka come.
Shadows raced down the tunnel. The creature was right. The Taranka were coming. I pinched my nose and debated whether or not to step onto the creature's gooey tongue, when the choice was made for me. 2 Taranka guards emerged in the cave as the creature quickly shoved me into his mouth and closed its teeth around me. All went quiet, except for the low gurgles of the creature's stomach. I thought I was surely dead, until I realized the creature was not chewing on me. Now what? As I did my best to maneuver around the creature's tongue, a light appeared behind me. I wiggled myself around to spot a small worm-like creature with large glowing eyes.
You are brave.
It spoke in a tiny voice.
No one ever chooses the mouth.
Small enough to fit in my hand, the worm dug itself out from the thick mucus covering the creature's tongue and wiggled a bit closer to me. Are you trapped in here?
On the contrary, I am here on my own accord.
You live in here?
Me and this large, smelly creature have a symbiotic relationship. The large creature provides me with shelter, mobility, and nutrients. In return, I keep the creature out of harm's way.
But the creature is stuck in a hole.
Oh, pish-posh. I merely maneuvered the creature to this place to keep from being apprehended. And here we sit, safely waiting for the Taranka to leave. At least, until you showed up.
A rumble grew from deep inside the large creature's belly. The worm lay flat on the gooey tongue and shut its eyes.
You should get as low as possible.
I reluctantly laid my body onto the wide, tacky tongue as the rumble raced up the creature's throat and exploded past us and out the creature's gaped mouth.
I wish he would stop doing that.
I apologize for leading the Taranka to you both.
It is fine. They see a dying creature stuck in a hole. Nothing more.
The worm-like creature swarmed closer.
The Taranka are preparing to leave. And they wish to take you with them.
But why?
They believe you hold the key to their survival.
But I thought the Taranka are eternal beings.
Or so they thought.
How do you know all this?
Whispers in the dark. Now go. Flee to the mines below. Before you get us all killed.
The large creature's mouth gaped, forced open by long, gnarled Taranka fingers.
Go! And may Abaddon guide you in your escape.
I gave the worm-like creature one last look, accepted any blessing I could get, and slid further down the tongue and into the cave below. Where I fell out from is not something I care to explain or write about. I sprinted down the mine, climbed over a partial collapsed wall, then waded through the surprisingly warm water of a shallow pond. Ahead, a light bounced off the cave walls like a beacon leading me to freedom. I charged up the bone hill, my legs aching as I reached the surface. I was free. Up ahead, between the beams of light, stood the scarred Taranka. He grinned wide as two Taranka guards, one to either side of him, started toward me. The scarred Taranka spoke in a stern, wordless voice.
Back to the mines.
His thoughts were heavy and morbid. I stepped back. He stepped closer, his neck flaring in anger.
Back with you.
I'm exactly where I intend to be.
Dash it all. Return to the mine. Return to the mine.
I won't go back. A jabbing pain rattled around my skull. My ears pulsed with pain. You can't break me.
You are weak. No warrior left in you.
The scarred Taranka's words were meant to insult, but instead they gave me hope. They confirmed Rusty's story. My people were once warriors that fought back the Taranka. And through the scarred Taranka's insults, I sensed anxiety, a lingering worry that leaked into his words. Screeches filled my head. I held my breath in pain, causing Tiku to flash a vision. Fire-red hair amongst a field of bones. The female Earthling. She was close. I exhaled as the pain grew, my eyes opened to see the scarred Taranka reaching for me. I smacked away his hand and took off running over bone and mud. I kept moving until there was no land left, stopped by the edge of a deep chasm. The Taranka guards marched fast. Their endless chatter grew more abusive.
From warriors to blacks, we tamed the great warrior race.
I scanned the bone pile for anything to aid me in my escape, settling on a long splintered femur. I may go, but I won't go easy.
You do what we say.
With the splintered bone raised in defiance, I peered down the cliff's edge.
Go back. Or suffer the anguish of the Taranka.
Back off, or suffer the wrath of a Jutsul. The scarred Taranka cut through the ranks, his neck fanned out like a cobra. Insults fired into my head. My hands trembled, my eyes watered, but I held my ground. The scarred Taranka smirked as he tortured me with his thoughts. Tiku flashed in my mind again. Fire-red hair, insults, fire-red hair, pain, fire-red hair. I will not go back. With all my might, I lunged straight and hard and plunged the shattered bone into the scarred Taranka's chest. The creature released a dreadful moan and collapsed to the ground. The insults and pain faded, but lingered like a dull ache. I yanked the bone from the Taranka's frail body, raised my chin, and eyed up the remaining Taranka guards. Who wants some? Who's next? The voices returned to their torturous game, except for one, a single voice rising above the rest, one from outside my head, a familiar female voice.
Jump. Jump now.
I scanned the horizon. Hair like flames in the breeze appeared behind the Taranka guards.
Jump.
I stepped back, the shattered femur held out in front of me.
Dean, jump.
A human hand rose from behind the Taranka, then lowered out of view. Dreadful screeches rang out. I stepped to the cliff's edge, peeked over, then leaped. I fell fast, gaining speed as I went. My stomach tightened, then a sudden stop, crashing headlong onto the roof of the female Earthling ship. She landed next to me soon after.
Next time, jump the first time I tell you.
Did you kill them? With your death touch? Painful screeches rang out above us.
2 of them.
The ship roared loudly.
Remind me to pick up some noise couplings for these engines. I can't hear myself think.
She put on her glove and quickly slid through the ship's damaged hatch.
Hurry!
I positioned myself above the door, checking a few times to make sure I was properly lined up, then skimmed down, catching the opening and tumbling safely into the cargo bay. The female Earthling yanked me off the floor and stood me up.
Meet me in the engine room in 5. We've got work to do.
She headed down the hall.
And shower off. You stink.
I rubbed my head and did my best to gather my thoughts. All around was destruction. The cargo bay lay in ruin. The fire from Rusty's ship destroyed everything. Everything, except for a familiar tool lodged in the grate floor. Rusty's wrench. I wiggled my robot friend's wrench free and slipped it into my boot, hoping to return it to him someday. The voices in my head ceased. My lungs cleared. I made it back alive, but feared things may never be the same.